Hey everyone, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me here on my blugoblinX channel for the much long anticipated return of the Midtown Comics stash. I want to thank Midtown Comics and my bro Chris, TheMtVernonKid, for these books. I was finally able to get them all read, and unfortunately I had to wait a little bit to do this because I'm getting over a cold or a minor little flu or whatever the hell's going around here, and I didn't think anybody would want to watch me talk about comics and constantly coughing. But I got stuff from Marvel, DC, Top Cow, Image, Dark Horse, Dynamite, and let's just go ahead and get started. We're going to start with DC, and we're going to start off with Batwing number 25. This is the Batwing tie-in to Zero Year. Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti, they do a fantastic job with the writing in here. Eduardo Pensica, I probably butchered those names and I'm sorry, but this was really good. I'm starting to sense something here. The main story of Zero Year is at best, but the tie-ins have, for the most part, have actually been pretty good. And this is no exception. We get to see what was going on with Luke Fox, you know, Lucius Fox's son. We got to see what was going on with him during the beginning of Batman. You know, 6 years ago, Batman his legend was just starting. I'm like, only 6 years and he's already a legend, okay? But, you know, this was really good. We get to see, you know, how Luke Fox was operating, how he grew up, how he managed his life before he became Batwing. You know, he's the son of Lucius Fox. He's got privileges that other kids might not have, and he's kind of got an edge to him in here, the way you're used to seeing it in Batwing. But I was kind of going into this thinking he was going to be like some sort of arrogant rich kid at first, you know, to describe how he once was, but I didn't really get that, and I'm really appreciative of that. This was very nicely done. We get to see, you know, Luke stick up for one of his friends who's got problems. He gets bullied and everything like that. This came off as a really strong anti-bullying kind of story about how when you're bullied, you finally snap, you can't take it anymore. He has a friend who gets bullied, and he snaps, he does something, and it's your basic PSA about bullying. Don't stoop to their level. Find a way to be above that, you know, and everything. The message is there, and the way the story is told, it's done really, really well. Just very nicely done. And the enemy that Luke faces in here, I'm hoping we get to see him again here very soon. Of course, I'm behind on Batwing, so don't spoil it for me. But this was really well told, very well put together, and I really enjoyed it. And that leads us into Batwing number 26. This is the present time. Luke is on a secret mission. He's doing some espionage work. He's trying to take down this foreign mob boss and everything. He calls himself Caligula and everything. And he goes undercover as an MMA fighter with a different alias. He gets in contact with an informant from Wayne Enterprises, and it's just really, really well done. The espionage style storytelling is there. I love the character interactions between Luke and this contact. They have a strange relationship in this issue. You know, they want to work together. They both have the same goal, but there is some animosity between the two of them. Not too much, but there is some in here, and I appreciate that. It was really well told. Some great solid action here, some good stuff from in here, and this mob boss that they take down, his arrogance knows no bounds. His arrogance is almost kind of sort of like madness. It is just, woo. This guy has a weird fetish for the Roman times, and he puts himself on a very high pedestal. I'm not bullshitting. This guy is sickly in love with himself, and he thinks of himself as a god, and you know, when they finally confront him, it's kind of funny how easily he goes down in the end. This was really good. Very solid. I enjoyed it. I'm loving Batwing. This was good. Nothing to complain about. Moving on to Marvel, we got All New Invaders #1, James Robinson. So James Robinson has jumped ship from DC to Marvel. Excuse me. Told you I'm getting over a cold. But it's good to see this old gang back together. This first issue was mainly 90% Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch. And, you know, he's trying to live your basic average Joe life in a town that probably nobody's ever heard of. You know, kindly folk all around him. Everybody's his friend. Everybody knows him. Everybody seemingly respects him. He's a well-liked guy. We've seen this kind of stuff before. Then comes in the antagonist of this particular story. And then all shit goes to hell for Jim. I've seen storytelling like this several times. But for some reason it's always captivating. It's always enjoyable to read. Most of the time. It doesn't always work. But in this case, it does work. I was entertained. I liked where they were going with this. I love the plot twist of trying to reestablish an old memory that Jim supposedly has, but he doesn't remember, and it involves him working with Bucky, with Namor, and with somebody else besides Captain America. This is really good stuff. Very nicely done. And that leads us into All New Invaders issue #2. And in here it's the continuation. It's like, you know, Cap and Bucky have joined in to help Jim. And Cap, Bucky, and Jim throw everything they have at this person. At this character. I can't pronounce her name. I'm not even going to try. But they throw everything they have at her. And she just shakes it off and just continues to smack them around like they're complete bitches. And she gets a call that they got what they're looking for. So she just takes off. You know, it's just kind of like brushing them aside. It's like, I'm not going to kill you now, so I'm just going to leave. You know, it's just like kind of what I would call cowardly arrogance. You know, I could kill you, but I'm not going to. I'm leaving. Bye. You know, kind of stuff like that. But it turns out the enemy has gotten a hold of a weapon or a device that can actually has power, enough power to control gods. Literally. And they've used this before, and this is really good stuff. Very intriguing storytelling, good dialogue, good action. Even though they're getting their asses handed to them, the Invaders still know how to work together as a solid, uniformed team. It is really good. I like this. The stuff with Bucky in here was pretty good. Not much else to say. I mean, it's a solid story. I really enjoy it. Moving on to Valiant, we got Eternal Warrior #2. Greg Pak doing a fantastic job of the writing. This was good stuff. In the first issue, we get to see what kind of stuff the Eternal Warrior had done, you know, in his prime and everything. He's trying to settle down. He's wanting to live a quiet life and everything. He's immortal, so he's got, you know, he just wants to be left alone, I guess. And his daughter, who's also immortal, tracks him down and catches up with him, and it's like, this may be my daughter, but this is the same woman who murdered my son. And, you know, it's like there is a strong hatred between the two of them. They don't want to work together. He wants nothing to do with her. She needs his help. She seems like she's got her back against the wall, kind of desperate-like. I mean, everything is there that you could look for in a family drama done right. I mean, it's just really, really good stuff. Nothing really to complain about in here. The action in here was good. The storytelling and the drama in here was actually really, really solid. Fantastic stuff. Nothing really to, you know, complain about. I mean, this was really, really good stuff. It wasn't perfect, but the artwork was great. It was dark, had some gritty shading to it and everything. It was really well done. Everybody was drawn to look fantastic. The writing flowed very well. This was really good stuff. This is a series from Valiant that I do recommend you get on board with. Eternal Warrior has been really good, and I'm only 2 issues in. So that's got to be saying something. Only 2 issues in, and I'm already recommending that you get on board with it. Moving on to Dark Horse, we got Ghost #1. Kelly Sue DeConnick, Chris Sabula, and Ryan Sook. This was good. Now, I didn't read the previous volume of Ghost, but I've been hearing good things about it, so Chris decided to get me on board with the current one. This was pretty good. You know, the Ghost, she she's trying to get a hold of what her previous life was and everything. I really don't know what has been going on here lately. I guess I should have read the previous volume. But she's basically working as a bounty hunter, so to speak. She's going around collecting demons who are possessing humans and everything. And one of the humans that she helps free from possession, turns out she may have known him in her previous life before she became what she is now. That was probably the most interesting part of the story for me. Nothing really much to go on and on and on about because I don't know that much about this character, but for what I will say is this was a really decent first issue of this volume. I thought it was really well done. The artwork in here from Ryan Sook was fantastic. I really loved it. I loved Kelly Sue DeConnick and Chris Sebula's writing in here. The dialogue was good. It has everything I could ask for. Dramatic dialogue, and there's also some good one-liners or some good little chuckles here and there. But just fantastic. I love the fact that they're taking on a very serious issue, but they're not getting too serious with it and making it drag like some of the things in Venom did under Cullen Bunn with all the hell demons and shit. But this was really solid. Not much to say. You know, I don't want to... Unlike my regular comic book reviews, I'm trying my best not to spoil too much because, you know, I just want to give independent comics a chance, and if I spoil them too much, then who's going to want to buy them? But it was solid, nonetheless. A decent beginning to the volume. Sticking with Dark Horse, we're going to X, number 6. Oh my god. You want to talk about some violent shit? This was really good. Dwayne Straczynski, Dustin Nugent. This was some nasty shit. Really, really well done. X finds a way to extract information without actually having to kill. You know, he's now being resorted to, you know, simply just giving out warnings. And he knows who the big boss is, who he's going after. He knows who it is, and this guy is just... He's really sick. And I mean, I'm not talking about madness crazy. I mean, he could be one of those trigger-happy villains that if he doesn't get his way, he's just going to kill you. You know, but he's not going to be a lunatic about it. He's just like, bang. It's like, give me what I want. No. Bang. Okay, there you go. He's going to be, I think he's going to be like one of those villains, the guy that X is going after in here. My only complaint is the mad dogs, or whatever the hell they call themselves at the beginning of the book when they're in this store. The way they're drawn, I know they're supposed to be like some, you know, mutated people, or people who had like surgically enhanced bodies or faces, body parts or anything like that. I get that. But the way some of these characters are drawn, I'm like, wow, it's gone on the edge of kind of looking cartoony. When you want to talk about a serious topic like this, that's literally my only complaint about here. Other than that, the rest of the story was really good. I love the relationship between X and his little reporter friend. I believe her name is pronounced Lee, or is it Leia? I don't know. I call her Lee. It may be Leia or Lee. I call her Lee. But I love the companionship that they provide with each other. You know, they don't really like working with each other, but they kind of feel like they have to. That's kind of how it comes off to me. What do I know? I'm just a simple fan. But this was honestly pretty good. Yeah, still a solid series. Fantastic stuff from Dark Horse. Moving on to Top Cow, we're going to Bushido, number 1, The Way of the Warrior. Number 1 of 5. Ooh, this was good. This was really good. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting much with this, but this was really good. You know, when it comes to samurais, shoguns, and you know, stuff like that, I've seen stories told like this several times. But man, this time it just really works. I was captivated by this. You know, 2 lovers are torn astray by a shogun's wish to marry off his daughter to the main character's brother and everything. It's just, wow. Very nicely done stuff. Creatures of the night are going around killing people. It's like they kind of look like vampires or wolves or zombies and stuff like that. But it's just really good stuff. The action here was fantastic. Dramatic storytelling was really good. And this book ends on a whoa kind of cliffhanger. Just nicely done. Very, very incredible storytelling in here. Really good stuff. The drama in here was just as awesome as the action was. Fantastic stuff. I loved it. And that moves us into number 2. Number 2 was probably even better than the first issue was with Bushido. After the jaw-dropping cliffhanger of the first issue with the main character's father dying, his brother is blaming him for the death when he doesn't realize that it's these creatures going around that killed him. But the brother is so blinded by hatred and want and thirst for vengeance, he just doesn't get it. And like I said, I've seen storytelling like this done before, but it's done very well in here. Just solid, solid stuff. And despite all that's going around, they're still going on with their plans, even though the main character's warning the brothers, like, hey, double your security. These guys are going to come after, these creatures are going to come after you. And the brother just doesn't want to hear it. And it's just, wow, just really good stuff. And despite all of the warnings, despite all of the talking and all the bargaining and all that stuff, he just doesn't listen, and it ends up with all the drama with the wedding coming on top of that, plus some really solid action, some good storytelling involving the two brothers trying to make a deal, you know, before the main character will eventually accept his punishment. And then you go to a dun-dun-dun kind of cliffhanger. This was incredible stuff. Fucking awesome. I loved it. Going to Image Comics, we're going to Lazarus number 4, Greg Rucka. Oh my god, this was good. This was good. Forever. And the Lazarus from another family got attacked at the end of issue 3. And we're seeing what happened to them at issue 4. She recovers, takes care of her business and everything, interrogates some soldiers and everything, and one of the members of the Carlisle family pulls a stunt and lies and makes some manipulations and everything to frame another member of the family, and Lazarus is buying it, and it's just power struggle, family backstabbing kind of storytelling. It's done very well. Very, very well. The action that we get in here is just fantastically done. Just great stuff. Drama is really good. I love that nobody trusts anybody in this kind of world, and I get why, because of the world that they live in. But that cliffhanger at the end of the book, whew, where are they going from here? I can't wait to see the next issue. This is good. That is if they're doing a next issue. I don't know if this is an ongoing or a mini-series, but if the story's continuing, if there's an issue 5, because Lord knows I haven't been looking at the Image solicits here, so if I sound like an imbecile because, oh, there was only 4 issues or there's only 5 issues, it's not an ongoing, well, forgive me. But this has been really good. Really good. And I loved that cliffhanger. I can't wait to see where the story goes. Sticking with Image, we got Rocket Girl number 1, Amy Reeder, Brandon Monteclair. Amy Reeder's artwork is just fucking incredible. The Rocket Girl is a cop from the teenage police department. And they're in the future, in the year 2013, and it kind of looks Back to the Future 2-ish. You know what I mean? Everything's so high-tech, so fancy, so clean, everything like that. You know, and she's from the year 2013. She goes back to the mid-80s, and she claims to be a cop from the New York City Teen Police Department. Yes, apparently in the year 2013, teenagers have their very own police department, their very own cops, their very own commissioners and stuff like that. Really? Where the hell did they do that? But this was your basic introduction to time travel storytelling that has probably been done before, but it's entertaining. The dialogue in here was good. I love the one-liners, the comedy, how this teenage cop from the future is able to handle herself in the mid-80s New York City Times Square with all the cops and the crooks and everything. It's just really good stuff. the cops in the 80s are trying to arrest her for doing vigilante justice and everything, and I love how she got out of it. Excuse me. But just really fun stuff. It just, to me, the only nitpicks I have is, like, it doesn't feel like a $3.50 book. This feels like a $2.99 book at the best, because it felt incredibly short. Once I finished the story, I was like, whoa, that's it? There's no more? Wow, this felt like a really short read because it was that much fun. This was really good. Moving on to Dynamite, we got Black Bat number 6. Oh, boy. This was good. This was really good. Black Bat is taking care of something involving a certain foe, a former foe that he has to work with and everything, and unfortunately he got killed at the end of the last issue, and he's finding out something about a bomb threat, and he's like, oh god, I gotta go take care of that. And long story short, he finds out that the bomb threat, he does something in here. I'm not gonna spoil it, but what I will say is, the way this book ends is that Black Bat does something in here that he thinks is the right thing to do, but it turns out that doing that very thing screws over the people he tries to save. And that's all I'm going to say, because the ending of this book, all I'm going to say now is, god damn, this was good. This was really good. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, next up, the Man of Bronze, Doc Savage, number 1. This was pretty decent stuff. I liked this. You know, there's some Aurora Borealis is going on over the city that they're in, and it's causing people's brains to snap, and they're acting irrational, acting violent and everything, and Doc Savage, along with his brain trust, are trying to figure out what's causing it, how to combat it. They even devised helmets that they can wear so they can go into the infected area, if you want to call it that, without being affected by the lights that are causing all this hysteria. They're doing all this deduction, and it's very, very cleverly put together in the way the writing is done. You know, he has his men set up specific points at where the lights, or where the infectious area spreads, and they use maps and everything, and they pinpoint the next destination of where this will start and everything. And when they find the culprit who's responsible for this, this is where it gets really, really interesting, because Doc Savage believes that everybody can be helped, no matter how far gone they are or something like that. Just really, really good storytelling. This really painted a picture of how decent and noble a person Doc Savage is. Despite the fact that he has to do what he has to do to stop this madman from hurting these innocent people in the city, he still wants to help him because he believes that everybody at one point in their life deserves to have some help. And it was really good stuff. Solid storytelling. This is probably one of the better issues of probably one of the better comic books I've read in a while that dives into just nothing more than solid storytelling. It was just really good. Moving along, we got the Owl, number 4. Owl confronts the new Owl Girl, who is the original Owl Girl's granddaughter, and he's just sickened by the fact that she uses lethal force to deliver her own brand of justice, and she's even trying to talk him into doing it. And she even has the gall to say, "Hey, my grandmother, even after you left, she started doing it this way," and he just doesn't want to hear it. He will hear nothing of it. He will not believe her and everything. And it leads to the inevitable. They end up clashing against each other. And despite what the Owl does to Owl Girl in here, he knows he didn't kill her, but he knows that he stopped her, he delayed her and everything. And despite all this shit that happened within this whole story, the Owl decides to stick with it. He's not going to lower, he promises to not only himself but to the original Owl Girl. He stands at her grave. He says, "I promise I will never stoop to that level as long as I live, because, you know, this city can be saved, and I'm the one that can save it." Just fantastic storytelling in here. Just really, really good. I loved the way the issue ends. I love the way the story ended with the mob and everything. Because it's said in here that there's been a change in management, and I really liked that. Even though the series has only been a mini-series, and unfortunately we may not get any more storytelling after this, which kind of sucks, because I kind of feel like we were kind of left on a cliffhanger to end the series, which kind of sucks, but at least the storytelling did what it had to do. This was good. I liked it. Just fantastic stuff. Alright, moving on to Lady Rawhide, number 2. Oh man, I came this close to getting it in my store, but Chris assured me that I was still going to be getting it, so I backed off and I let him go ahead and send this to me. This is really good. Lady Rawhide is kind of like, this takes place in Mexico or something like that, and she comes off as kind of Robin Hood-ish a little bit. You know, combats the corrupt government and the corrupt police force, or the, what's the term they use for the police force in here? I don't remember. You know, to help the struggling, help the starving, help the needy, help the hungry, help the poor, you know, stuff like that. She's basically a vigilante for the people on the lower half of the totem pole, and it's really good. And I love the way she fights. I love her dialogue. I love her character. This is good. She's more than just a pair of tits in a tight outfit, in a sexy outfit. She is a very strong character. She does have nice tits, though. Okay, I'm getting off subject. I just love her animosity toward the people on the top half of the food chain. I just loved everything about this. This was very, very well done. I love the storytelling involving the lost sister from the band of misfit ladies who are, you know, going around dealing out their own brand of justice. This was just fantastic stuff. I loved it. It's great. Nothing else to say. I mean, I love the dialogue in here, especially from some of the hired help from the villains in here. Just really good stuff. Really good. We're going to end it with Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, number 1, Greg Pak, Mirko Kolak. I probably butchered that name, and I apologize if I did. But this was good, too. This was really good. Turok is living in this with a bunch of other natives in his land. His parents were tragically taken away from him, and everybody else that he's living with just treats him like shit. It's like, hey, you know, don't do this. Your family still owes us. Just because your parents are dead doesn't mean that your family debt has been paid. You still owe us. It's like they just constantly just give him shit after shit after shit. And all sometimes he just silently just takes it, and they're just like, what do you want to do? He's like, you need to be here with us. And he says, alone is being better, you know, and he makes a bold statement. It's like, today is the day you will all die and everything. It's just, wow. This guy has the patience of Job. I mean, he gets pushed around so much in here, and he's constantly able to just shrug it off as much as he can. He just shrugs it off and just goes on about his business. That's what I got in here. But then, you know, stuff happens in here involving the other people who he said were going to die, and he's like, you really make threats like that? It's like, no, I say it because it will happen. You know, it's dialogue like that. And there's some captures taken, there's some capturing done after a big dramatic moment involving dinosaurs and everything. But I'm not going to give too much away. This was very well written. The artwork in here was a little scratchy, but it was good. The action in here, for the most part, was good. Turok doesn't shrug all the bullshit off. He does dish out some back, because he's not going to be a complete pussy about it, but you know, what can you do? You're being pushed around, you're being talked down to, stuff like that. That's just basically what I got after reading this. Maybe I didn't dive into this book as much as I did the other ones, but I did enjoy this. This was very well written, very well done, very well drawn and detailed. Just a solid read. I enjoyed it. Was it perfect? No. But like I always say, for what I get entertained. I was entertained. Look at a comic book. Does it entertain you? Did you enjoy reading it? That's what I got. I was entertained and I enjoyed it. This was very good. Well, that's all I got for this Midtown Comics stash. It was a bit of a big one, but I appreciate the challenge. 15 books, Chris. I appreciate the challenge, and I look forward to whatever you and Midtown Comics have in stash for me next time. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, blugoblinX. This channel does need some love. Don't forget my main channel, Blugoblin01. Keep sticking. Please subscribe to Arkham Asylum Studio, the channel that Jennifer and I run. We're working on some videos for that channel right now. We just uploaded a couple of new ones involving some weird toys, some ninja action figures, and some silly putty. We're working on one now, plugging a candy store that we went to. So, there's always that. And don't forget Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. I will get to reviewing more books on there as soon as I can. Don't forget about Fast Deck of Comics, Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex, and as always, my bro, TheMtVernonKid. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see you all later.